In South Florida, you'd think, being the epicenter of aging, that they would know how to innovate around aging issues. And that's true for the most part around healthcare and the biology of aging. We've got some great long-term care facilities. We have some amazing insurance companies that are down here. Our hospital system, our healthcare system is excellent. But it's at the expense of our social and economic needs. We're so focused and almost obsessed, if you will, with the biology of aging that we forget that sometimes people just need a friend to talk to, or need to learn how to use technology, or just want to learn that extra skill to have that extra paying job, because guess what? They're living longer and they're going to run out of money. Isn't there someone already thinking about these things for our community? And the short answer is no. The short answer is absolutely not. And that's in part because of the healthcare conversation I told you about before. But it's also in part because for so many years, our aging policies and services have been driven by government dollars and government investments. And sometimes government dollars and investments don't allow for much innovation. And so there hasn't been this new way of thinking in supporting our aging community. Everyone's aging. And no one wants to be where their parents were, right? Everyone wants to know how to use the latest iPad. Everyone wants to make sure that they have the retirement savings that they need to live another 25, 30 years. Social isolation is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And I think there is, well, I haven't seen the science behind that. I do believe it because anecdotally, you see people from all walks of life who are socially isolated. They will eat less, they will network less, they will increase their admission to the ER just to have someone to talk to. And if you sort of move up the socioeconomic ladder, similar things happen to people who are otherwise extraordinarily successful in their careers, had a bunch of children, have grandkids, and yet still are socially isolated because they're not engaged. So the health risks are severe. There are real science-based risks associated with social isolation. People who basically live paycheck to paycheck, who are one crisis away from the financial catastrophe. In South Florida, particularly in Broward County, a majority of the households that are quote unquote Alice households are 65 and older. And so the aging population in this community is particularly sensitive and vulnerable to the slightest misstep, the slightest increase in the cost of living, the slightest increase in rent, housing, food, all of that. And it is a very real crisis here in South Florida. The other real crisis that I think prevents people from getting out from under that is ageism. I think ageism is layered on top of everything that we do. Nothing changes one's point of view like an economic crisis. I mean, if you're faced with being kicked out of your home because you can't pay rent, which is something that our seniors face day in and day out here in South Florida, where in many cases, more than a third of their income goes to rent. And this is income that's, basically Social Security income, maybe some retirement savings. Nothing changes your point of view and perspective like the desperation to figure out your other options. The necessity of an economic crisis, while not terribly sexy, is very real and will force change, I think. And so I think what Silvernest offers is an opportunity to rethink how you can live and live with the peace of mind that at least you'll have some additional income, or you can provide someone with some additional income while you live affordably, is a really tremendous opportunity, a tremendous platform.